And hello, everybody. Welcome to Shooting the Shit with Jim. I am Jim. This is episode 22. And my very special guest this week for Shocktober is Bryan, the horror punk. Hello, Bryan. How are you today, my friend?
Hey, Jim. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, especially now that you're here because, again, this is like the highlight of my week every week. So, first and foremost, thank you so much for agreeing to be here. It's an honor for you to be here. Finally, I've been wanting to have you on here for months. I just told you that since we did the live stream with Sean and Kenny last year at this time. But I wanted to keep you in the pocket, so to speak, until Halloween time. So I'm really glad that it worked out and that you were able to do this. And we've got 5 people so far in the chat, but I don't see anybody in the chat yet, so that's fine. But that's fine. If you are here, please go ahead and leave comment and let us know that you're here, and we will acknowledge you. But we're going to go ahead and start the show. Like I said, this is episode 22 with my good friend Bryan here at the Horror Punk. Bryan, how did you get your start on YouTube, buddy?
Actually, I've started watching just people randomly review and like opening packages and whatnot, and my brother started doing it, so I said I could do it too. So that's basically it. I've been watching horror my whole life. Well, since I was a child, my mom got me into it probably a little too young. She was a big Stephen King fan, so that's where it started, and then it just took off from there.
Yeah. A woman after my own heart. Good for her.
Yeah.
You know, she's probably around my age, so good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember the first movie you ever saw theatrically? Regardless of the genre?
Oh, and the genre.
Well, regardless of the genre.
Oh, regardless of the genre.
Yeah, it could be a Disney movie. It could be whatever.
Trying to think. I remember, I think it was 2nd grade. We went to go see that Fern Gully movie.
Oh, okay.
You guys remember that? Obviously, Tim Curry was in that one, so that's kind of stood out to me. His voice talent was there anyway. Yeah, that was probably I probably had another one before that, maybe another Disney movie. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think about when I think about the first time going to a theater.
Yeah, that one stands in your mind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, that's cool. I mean, again, I've had answers everything from like Disney stuff to horror movies to my first one was Battle for the Planet of the Apes at the drive-in. So it's always fun to the one thing that I usually get from people though, and it's really from Europe, the European guests, is they always say that more so than the movie, they remember seeing that big screen for the first time. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing that like sticks out in their head, like, holy shit, the television is so big, that sort of reaction,
right.
Yep. Do you remember the first video or, that the parents rented or that you rented?
I got a couple different scenarios, like a couple different stories for that. I remember renting the first Troll movie at a very young age. Not Troll 2, the first.
Okay.
Which they don't really have anything to do with each other. They do, but they don't. It's kind of just thrown together. Yeah. I remember watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space for the first time. I think that was actually on TV. I'm not sure which station it was. But that movie just stuck with me throughout the years. So, but I remember my mom actually taped the when Stephen King's It was on. Made his TV appearance.
Yeah,
the first one, she taped it completely, and she had that recordable tape for years. I would always go back and watch it. So, yeah, I remember watching that like way too young.
That came out in like
1990.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I was 23 when that thing aired, and it gave me the creeps. I read the book, but...
Yeah. I was about 5.
Okay, yeah, I can see where that would fuck you up.
Yeah, clowns. Yeah.
Okay, well, that leads me into a question I was going to ask later on, but since you kind of... you said that you saw that way too young and it definitely messed you up. Okay. Is there any particular film or movie scene or anything that you saw as a kid, okay, that just thinking about it today still kind of gives you the creeps a little bit. It doesn't freak you out, okay, but thinking about it, you might get the hair on your arms to stand up a little bit or chill down your spine. Because, for instance, mine, and I've been saying it for years, that fucking little bastard vampire kid scratching the window in Salem's Lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like 12 years old, and that just, even now, it kind of creeps me out a little bit, you know? So it's like, you know, is there something like that for you?
Probably just go back to Stephen King's It, drains, especially sink drains. You know, just big splatter of blood comes up, and then when what's his name, Eddie's in the showers.
That's the scene that people mention a lot.
Yeah, just coming up there. Yep.
Yeah, one of my buddies on here, who's around your age, that's the scene that he mentioned. He was like, that still fucks him up a little bit in the back of his head, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It scarred him as a kid, you know, and you don't forget that shit.
Oh, no.
Real quickly, I'm going to acknowledge some people in the chat because, we've got 15 people here already. Thank you so much, everybody. We've got one of my partners in crime, Kenny from Kenny's Movie Palace here. Hey, Kenny, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much. I hope your back is feeling better, buddy. Sydney is here. Hey, hello, Sydney. Thank you so much for being here, as always. Our good friend Texas is here. Hey, Texas. He's acknowledging Kenny the Yam King, of course.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. And, of course, Stacy is here. Hello, Stacy. Favorite horror comedy. Now, I was going to hold off on the horror questions until the second half of the show, but what the hell? I'll go ahead. Do you have a favorite horror comedy?
There's a lot, honestly. Can't think of anything that comes to mind at the moment. I mean, I guess you could say Final Girls was a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could call Killer Clowns from Outer Space a horror comedy. Right.
I'll go with Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, that's a good one too. I love that one.
I the more times I watch that movie, the more I love it. It's so much fun.
It's ridiculous, but it's fun.
Yes. And yes, Stacy, I did have a haircut. I'm pulling all my hair out from all these videos I've been dropping them. It just fell out. No. Al is here. Hello, Al. Thank you so much. Hi, Jim. Brian watched The Home on your recommendation today. Brian loved it. I haven't seen that yet.
It was creepy. It definitely has its moments.
Yeah, Texas said it was good.
Yeah.
I remember.
I was surprised. I'm not the biggest Pete Davidson fan, but I liked it.
Brian laughed at the end of Old Yeller.
Oh, no. You can harm any human, but don't harm the animals, please.
Okay, and Sydney, I see this question. Yeah, what the hell? I'll go ahead and ask it now because I'm pretty sure I know what his answer is. Pet Sematary 1989. Your thoughts?
It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I enjoyed that one. I also enjoyed the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the second one, although I do like Clancy Brown.
He's a good actor. Yeah.
But no, the original Pet Sematary is one of the best Stephen King movies ever. It's great. It really is.
I stopped after that one. I didn't see the other two. I have not.
No, I haven't seen the remake or the Bloodlines or whatever the hell it was with David Duchovny because I heard that one's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Children of the Corn movies. You know, I saw the first two and then I stopped because there's like 20 of those and they're all bad. And Melina is here. Suzanne Summers' birthday and dead. Okay. But thank you for being here, Melina. Let's see here. Okay. And Word says, hello, Jim. For some reason, I associate a shaved head with a genie in a bottle. So I'm expecting wishes. Yeah. Expecting one hand, wishing the other one. See what happens, buddy.
Yeah. Right.
But thank you so much for being here, bud. And Larry is here. Larry, the Horcat Dad 15 here to make sure you hit that. Oh, thank you so much, Larry. And speaking of Larry, since he is here, tonight, I believe it's at 5 p.m. Central Time. But if I'm wrong, Larry, please correct me in the comments and I will correct it. But Larry over at his channel at the Horcat Dad, he's doing his interview show, which is called Conversations With. And today's guest is Mr. Dan from Mr. Dan in Horror, who has also been on this stage and is a very good friend of all of us here in the community. So after my show, after you guys chill out for whatever, go over to Larry's channel later on and check out that show as well, because Larry's a great guy, and so is Dan, and Larry's show is awesome. So there you go, Larry. I'll expect my check in the mail. And Sarah's here. Hello, Sarah. And Jeff is here. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, buddy? And congratulations on 1,300 subs, Jeff. That's awesome. Skipping. And we've got Patrick here from Half Cheeto Review. No hurting cats. Yeah, right. I think in the remake, didn't they run over a dog or some shit? Or I mean, I know they switched the kids around to going from being the little boy to the little girl, but I think they switched the animals or some shit too.
I think that's right. I'm not 100% sure.
Who knows? Let's see here. If I skipped anybody, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back into this real quickly. Oh, sorry, not Sarah. I just saw him. There we go. Mike is here. Hello, Mike. Thank you so much, buddy. I hope you are feeling okay from your surgery. Mike just had elbow surgery. He is now bionic. I mean, he's literally bionic at this point. So, but I hope you're feeling better, bud. Kenny, I like the David Duchovny blood. I haven't seen it yet, Kenny.
I'll give it a watch sometime soon, but yeah.
Sydney says, "Did you like the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Which one?"
Yeah, which one?
And there's another one coming out. They're doing it again.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, Sydney, in my case, no.
I will answer that as I enjoyed the 2003 one overall. But the last one, not really. Not really.
Okay. All right, cool. I think I acknowledged everybody that's here. So let's get back into the show here. We're going to play the first game of the day. It's called Top 3. And I kind of explained it to you before the show started, but I will explain it to anybody who hasn't seen it before. I will give you a variety of film genres. Well, before I do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. We know horror is obviously your favorite genre.
Yes.
What other genres would you say are amongst your favorite? And then follow that up with your least favorite, if any.
Some of my other favorites, I like comedies. I like sex comedies, especially from the 80s and 90s. I mean, would you consider thrillers part of horror or no?
Depends.
Yeah.
Some thrillers are, some aren't,
Yeah.
But
my least favorite, I mean, I don't watch a lot of Westerns. I don't know, it's just me just not opening up to Westerns. I like a few Westerns, but I'm just not familiar with a lot of those from back in the day. But yeah, I would say least favorite would be Westerns.
Okay. Fair enough. Then good. I didn't have any Western questions.
I do enjoy myself a good action movie once in a while too. So.
Okay, well then, bearing that in mind, here we go. Top 3 comedies off the top of your head. Go.
Top 3 comedies. Stay tuned.
Ooh, deep cut. Peter Hyams.
I've been watching that one since it came out in '92. Clerks. And 37
in a row.
And then probably I'm going to go another deep cut here. Summer Rental.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Kenny will be extremely happy to hear that.
Oh yeah,
he loves John Candy.
Big John Candy fan.
Top 3 action films.
Oh. Top 3 action films. Terminator 2. A lot of people say that. That one just stands out to me the most as I watched it just early on in my childhood. RoboCop. And I guess RoboCop's kind of like a sci-fi, but it is action too. I'm gonna go with the Stallone pick here, Cobra.
Could you explain to me why he eats pizza with scissors?
I don't know.
Nobody fucking knows.
Couldn't tell you. First time I saw that, I was like, "What the hell?"
Every time I see that movie, I freak out.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
No.
Okay, I'm going to throw you a curveball here. Top 3 kids films. And they could be animated or not. It's up to you.
I guess you could call it a kids' film. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990.
Okay. Yeah, that's a kids' movie.
DuckTales: The Legend of the Lost Lamp. Random. I know.
Pretty specific.
Yeah. Well, again, that was a big hit with me in my childhood. And then I would probably have to pick. Ooh. Probably Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Another deep cut. Man, you see, this is what I love about you, dude. And I said this before the show started. You have forgotten more movies than I even know. Okay. And I consider myself a cinephile. But it's like never in a million years today would I have thought that I'd be talking about Stay Tuned, which I agree. That's a great movie. I love John Ritter. He's fucking awesome. Okay. Jeffrey Jones is actually really good in that. But I really never thought I'd be talking about DuckTales: The Lost Lamp. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah, I know. I get that. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, I'm going to jump back in the comments because I see some other people have popped in since I last looked. And I just want to make sure I didn't skip anybody. Mr. Dan is here. Hello, Dan. How you doing, buddy? And I know I just saw somebody else. Jeff says, finally, another person that mentions Cobra. Yes, Patrick is in the house. And okay. All right, cool. All right. We're going to play another little game that I like to call overrated, underrated. But we're not talking about horror.
Okay.
We're going to go in the horror later on. Okay. So bearing that in mind, I want you to come up with a movie that by and large everybody loves and you just think it's overrated. You don't necessarily have to hate it, okay? But you just think it's overrated, all right? And the flip side of that is a movie that by and large people think kind of suck and you're like, no, you're wrong. This movie's really good and here's why, okay? The only prerequisite that I always make with these picks is that they have to be studio films. They cannot be some little obscure asylum movie or some canon movie that nobody has ever heard of, you know, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So you can think about it for a couple of minutes if you want, but if you know anything off the top of your head, by all means, go for it.
Something that I think is overrated or underrated?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
One of each.
Overrated.
I mean, Forrest Gump seems to be a very popular answer for overrated on this show.
I mean, I enjoyed that movie. I think it's overrated slightly, yeah, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you don't necessarily have to hate it.
It's not.
You just need to think that something is overrated, you know?
Yeah.
You know, another popular answer, although it's horror, and I said we're not talking horror, is Hereditary. Half the people think it's overrated, and the other half think it's underrated. I mean, that is one of the most divisive movies I have ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just drawing a blank here, Jim. Sorry. I know I'm not supposed to, you know.
No, it's all right.
Again.
All right. Well, if you want to include horror, you can go that route then.
Yeah.
Because I know there's horror movies that you think are overrated, and I know there's horror movies that you definitely think are underrated, just from our prior conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I personally enjoy a lot more of like the independent, low budget stuff, but you know that. Like Terrifier. A lot of people think Terrifier is overrated.
Mm-hmm. You think it's underrated?
Um,
Or do you think it gets the amount of praise that it deserves? I haven't seen any of the Terrifier
it
films, to be
gets
honest.
it. I let's put it this way: I enjoy it, but I can see it's just getting too big, too fast. So it would be overrated.
Gotcha. Yeah. Again, I haven't seen those movies. I've seen clips of them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, maybe I'm just talking out my ass here, but to me, it seems like it's just nonstop, over the top kill scenes with very little else. And
that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
And that's fine. You know, I don't have a problem with that. I'm a gore hound, you know, as much as the next guy, but it's like, you got to give me something,
right?
You know, so real quick, Greg. Hey, Greg, how you doing, buddy? Okay. What about underrated? Is there like a horror movie that people kind of think sucks and you're like, no, man, this movie's great? I always mention Jason X because I love Jason X and most people hate it.
I actually like Jason X more than I liked Jason Goes to Hell.
Me too. Me too. Me and Patrick get into heated arguments about that all the time.
He just wanted his machete back. Some people think like what do I like? That's people think is overrated.
I mean, I think Blair Witch is overrated.
I can see that. But to me, that's nostalgic to me because I grew up in the area where that was actually filmed. So it's kind of close to me there. I would say, I would say they would just said the Twilight series. I had never seen any of those, so
no.
Couldn't tell
Sparkly
you
vampires, fuck off.
No. I could go with the Howling series. That whole series is just like crazy, out of whack. Yeah, there you go.
Best thing about that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Bryan says the most overrated is The Thing, just for the fun of the reaction. Corey's here. Hey, Corey, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, rat bastard. Good to see you, bud. And Larry says Terrifier is overrated. And again, I have not seen him. Now, this answer I get a lot. Midsommar.
Honestly, I haven't watched it. I need to.
It's way too long. It's way too long.
That's what I hear.
And my buddy Daniel, who is from Sweden, okay, hates that fucking movie, man. He's like, that movie's the biggest piece of shit. He hates it. And yes, Patrick, I knew you would say that. Hereditary is overrated. Patrick says that Toni Collette sucks in that movie. So that'll show you what he thinks, you know. Sarah says Megan is overrated. I haven't seen either of the Megan movies, to be honest.
I saw the first one. I didn't check out the second one yet. So.
Oh, here you go. This is a good answer from Greg. Underrated. Hardware from 1990.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I saw that one theatrically, and it disappeared, and I haven't seen it since. But I know Greg there got a really nice edition of it when it came out.
I do have that one. I don't think it's behind me, though.
And Patrick, I totally agree with you. Miracle Mile is brilliant. Yes, Miracle Mile is great.
Joe, I got it right here.
Nice.
There you go.
And Al, yeah, Miracle Mile is a really good one.
I just picked that one up recently. I haven't gone around to watching it, but that's on my list.
Texas says Midsommar is garbage. Hereditary is great, so blah. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Do you have like a holy grail thing in your collection? Like just one movie that if the house suddenly caught fire and you could only grab one thing, what would that movie be?
Oh.
Or collectible if it's a collectible, you know. I don't know if you're into collectibles or not.
I have a lot of collectibles in my storage unit, so I don't have anything here like that right now since I just moved into this house. You know,
Because you got a lot of movies, I know, and you got lots of shelves.
let me grab this real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, well,
I know a lot of people are having a hard time getting this because of the availability or whatever. I'm gonna go with this.
Oh, nice. That's the new one, right?
Yeah. So I haven't even opened it up yet, but
nice.
Get to do that soon.
I'm pissed off that they didn't do the same thing with Blu-rays.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't have 4K, and I refuse to buy that shitty Blu-ray set that they already have. You know?
Yeah, I have that too. It's not good.
No, it's not. And
no, it's compact.
I had always hoped that Scream Factory was going to do a set like they did with Friday the 13th
and Halloween.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously that's not going to happen now. So, but no, I heard that set is great, and I've seen plenty of openings of it. So yeah, I mean the artwork and everything is really nice on those. So that's cool. But then again, they're steel books, so they'd probably survive the fire.
Oh yeah, probably. You got that right. Yeah.
See, I shouldn't make jokes about that shit because I did. I had like over 300 one-sheet theatrical posters, mainly from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also had some from the early 2000s that I lost in a fire.
Oh.
And I would love to have those posters back. I mean, especially the Revenge of the Jedi, that poster that is worth thousands of dollars.
Ooh.
It was a misprint. And I snagged it and had it for years. Pristine. Not even a pinhole in that sucker. Nice. And c'est la vie, it's gone now. All right, so real quickly, I'm going to jump into the comments real quickly, skip over everybody that's arguing about Midsommar and Hereditary. Byzantium, have you seen that one?
No.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Right.
Stacy says spontaneous combustion and Life Force are underrated. She's a big Toby Hooper fan. I know that.
I enjoy Hooper. I have not seen either one of those.
You never seen Life Force?
No, it's in the collection. I haven't gotten around to watching that one.
Oh, put that one on your list.
Spontaneous Combustion, I believe, is out of print and it's just very hard to find.
I haven't seen that movie since the VHS days.
Yeah, it had a Blu-ray. I think it's out of print now.
Yeah, I really don't remember much about it. Mm-hmm. I know I've seen it, but Life Force, here's some blasphemy. Life Force is my favorite Toby Hooper movie, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
I've heard that from numerous people. So.
It's so batshit crazy, Brian. You'll love it. And Matilda May is, without a doubt, one of the most beautiful women who ever graced the screen. And she is like... Yeah. It's just, it was a real popular movie for a lot of people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Stacy says, I look like a mob boss. Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Oh, Juno's here. Hey, Juno. How you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. And Stacy says, Brian and Jim, question for both. What haunted house would you live in for a weekend if you had to? I'm assuming she means from like the movies. I'll go with the Poltergeist house.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Just because it seems safer than some big ass gothic mansion out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen enough go. It ain't going to be that house from the Changeling. Let's put it that way. Fuck that, man.
No.
I see a ball now and I want to throw it. You know, it's just like that movie. I love the Changeling so much. Let's see here. Al says Life Force put top of the list. Yeah, it is.
It's up there now.
It is so much fun.
Definitely something I'll watch within the next week for sure.
Yeah, like I said, it's batshit crazy, but it's so much fun. Mm-hmm. Juno says Midsummer is a horse ass movie and don't care about seeing the director's cut of another 4 hours of bullshit and the characters are complete dumbasses.
Yeah.
And then he continues, I would rather watch The Happening over the fucking Midsummer. Preached, Okay. We're going to slide into some horror. All right. We're going to go back to that top 3 thing. Okay. But now it's just horror.
Okay.
And if you want to include some of your, obscure titles, that's fine. Okay. Top 3 slasher movies.
Slashers. I'm going to go with Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Killing me here, Jim. I have so many in my head that I just love.
Again, just off the top of your head.
Yeah. Friday the 13th 2.
Okay. Paul.
And sorry. Can't think of a third at the moment. There's just so many to choose from.
Okay. Top 3 paranormal films.
Ghost films. Poltergeist. It's one of my best ones here. I guess you could call The Shining paranormal.
Yeah.
Psychological
absolutely.
Paranormal. I enjoyed it. I know King didn't like it, but it is what it is with that.
It doesn't matter what King likes, it's what you like.
Yeah, I know. And then I would probably say I'll just pull 13 Ghosts.
Okay. Top 3 Stephen King films.
I would say It, 1990. The Shining. And we'll go with Christine.
Top 3 horror icons.
I'm going to go with Leatherface. Norman Bates.
Nice.
And I'm going to go with The Crypt Keeper.
Nice. Top 3 horror directors. They don't necessarily have to only be horror directors, but that's what most people know them for. Okay. So, top 3.
I've become a big fan of Scott Derrickson.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who Scott Derrickson, he did Black Phone, he did Sinister.
Gorge.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he did a little bit of Hellraiser too, I believe. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did one of them, Bloodlines or something, I think.
Yeah, one of those.
The good one. One of the better ones. Let's put it that way.
Right. I'm gonna go Stuart Gordon.
Nice. I love Stuart Gordon.
And I'm gonna go with the man himself, Carpenter.
Yeah, I was waiting for Carpenter because it's kind of hard to do a top 3 horror without him.
He's very kooky. I met him once. He's very kooky.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I would love to meet John Carpenter. I mean, I'd probably fanboy out on him, and he'd say, fuck off. But
I waited about 4 hours in line to meet him, but it was worth it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He just wants to kick back and play video games and smoke weed all day. And it's hey, and make music. I think he's really more into the music now than movies. But it's like, you know what? He could do whatever the fuck he wants, in my opinion. So
exactly.
Yeah. No, I love the man. I absolutely love the man. Okay, we're gonna play another little game here, but this one I am gonna go back into expanding the genres. Okay. We're gonna say best decade. I'm gonna give you a film genre. You're going to give me what you think is the best decade for that genre. And you can go all the way back to the early days, all the way up to now. Mm-hmm. The only prerequisite here is that it has to be an actual decade, not, well, I like the movies from 86 to 95. No, fuck that. It's 80s or 90s. You don't get to go both. You know what I mean? So bearing that in mind, best decade for comedy.
We'll go 90s.
Okay. Best decade for sci-fi.
Definitely the 80s.
Best decade for war films. And if you're not a war film fan, that's fine.
Not a war film.
I know you're not a Western guy, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the interesting one. I wanted to see what you're going to say here because it's been, best decade for horror. And why? Yeah.
I'm going to pick the 80s because I grew up in the 80s and I've watched a lot of 80s films over the years. And it's just, I just gravitate towards 80s horror films, particularly slashers.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's weird is from the beginning of the show, it was always 80s when it came to horror movies. But then lately, it's been 70s to the point where it's almost like a 50-50 split.
Right.
And it's always the same reasons. The 80s, it was because either I grew up in the 80s or those movies were, bigger franchises or mainly special effects. The practical effects in the 80s are so good. Okay. The 70s, it's always the same answer. 70s horror movies are more gritty and arguably scarier. And both points are valid. Now, I would go with the 80s like you, okay? Right. But after some people started mentioning the 70s, it made me realize, you know what? Maybe I'm taking the 70s for granted when it comes to horror because there are some fucking amazing horror films from the 70s. Yeah. Truly amazing horror films. My favorite horror film of all time, my favorite horror film of all time is from the 80s. It's The Thing. But to me, the greatest horror film of all time is Dawn of the Dead. And that's from the 70s. So, all right, cool. Yeah, I kind of thought you were going to go with the 80s on that. But again, lately it's been 70s.
There's a lot of good 70s horror films out there. I remember watching, I think it was Deranged.
Yeah.
You guys seen that one?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Real quick here.
Find out that the killer is the same guy who was in Home Alone and played the old man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Let's see here. How do you keep track of your films so you don't buy doubles?
I have an app for that. The CLZ Movies app.
Yeah, I'm pretty good about that as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, time for another rant from Juno. A Nightmare on Elm Street, great classic. Don't care about Blumhouse, aka Shithouse, doing another Freddy film after they castrated Michael and Pazuzu. Yeah. And Stacy says, favorite kill in Friday the 13th franchise. I like part 8, where he chokes Kelly Hugh and many from part 3, such as the Shelley kill.
Oh, Shelley, yeah. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, hands down, my favorite kill is still the sleeping bag scene, the original sleeping bag scene, because I wish we would have gotten the unrated version of that, where he smacks her like 3 or 4 times. But in a way, that one hit is more brutal, and it's just, I'll never forget watching that live, so to speak. It just, that was one of these moments, and it still is. It's got to be the sleeping bag scene.
I like the one from Jason X with the whole head into the liquid.
Oh yeah,
liquid nitrogen or whatever. Yeah,
absolutely. That one's awesome too. Juno agrees that Christine is a masterpiece. Al's top 3 Stephen King's is Life of Chuck, Shawshank, and Christine. Life of Chuck is an amazing, amazing film. Definitely top 5 for me this year. What horror conventions have you gone to, Brian? Have you gone to any?
Oh yeah, I've gone to quite a few in Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, like Monster Mania, Scares That Care when they did them in Central Virginia. They don't do those anymore. Creature Feature Weekend. Yeah,
so quite a few. Yeah, I've only been to one, and it was 90. What year did People Under the Stairs come out? 91? Yeah, so Fangoria Weekend of Horrors in Chicago, 1991. Because I got to meet Wendy Roby and Everett McGill in a meet and greet. They were pushing that movie, and I literally bumped into Bruce Campbell because he was promoting Army of Darkness, and then they shelved it again for another year or whatever before that finally came out. And he was awesome.
Oh, he's a great guy. I've met him.
Yeah.
Too. He's
they always say don't meet your heroes, and it was like, fuck that, man. Bruce Campbell was great. He really was. I didn't get a chance to really talk to him, but he was very gracious in the short amount of time that I did have with him. So, but thank you, Stacy. Let's see here. Okay, Al says 80s for comedy and 70s for sci-fi. And I want to also acknowledge that Gareth is here. Hello, Gareth. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. I'm looking forward to our show on Tuesday. I'm pulling double duty on Tuesday. I'm doing a show with Gareth, and then I'll have about 45 minutes to kill, and then I'm doing the show with you, Sean, Kenny, and Larry that night. So, yeah, I'm going to be busy. Fucking October's killing me, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's killing me.
Busy, it's a busy month.
Patrick says war films from the 40s. I like war films from the 70s, to be honest, but that's just me. I like hair in the 80s. I had hair in the 80s. Larry says, amen to Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I fucking love Dawn of the Dead. And that's one of the few remakes that I really like. Because I still think that's Zack Snyder's best movie. I mean, that movie rocks. Jeff says 60s for war films for me. Love the men on a mission movies like The Dirty Dozen, etc. Although I also love Vietnam war films from the 80s. Yep, absolutely. Oops. Al says Deranged is great. And I hate these comments now. Dan says, just saw Deranged. Robert Blossom was also in Christine, of course. Yep. Yeah, shitter. As a matter of fact, I think about 7 or 8 months ago, and if Juno or Texas are still in the audience, they can correct me on this, but I think this was one of the last movies that they did with Sean when they were doing Sean or CWO stuff back in the day, because I watched that movie with them, or it might have just been with Texas and Juno. I don't remember which, but I remember I was making fun of making Robert's Blossom jokes the whole time, because of Christine. Let's see here. Jason X is underrated. I fucking love Jason X. The Monkey and the Boogeyman for Stephen King movies.
Well, the Boogeyman was pretty good, I thought.
Considering it's based on a short story that is literally 4 pages long.
Yeah.
That movie's pretty good. You know, I mean, the opening scene with David Demolshin is literally the short story. Everything else after it is made up for that movie.
Supporting him right now with the Night Owl hat. Yep.
Yep. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Great actor.
The Monster Ed Gein show was overproduced and filled with Hollywood bullshit. Deranged with Robert Blossom is much better. I've been reading so much about this Ed Gein thing, but I haven't watched a moment of it. So.
Me neither.
I like Charlie Hunnam, you know, the guy that's playing him. I don't know how he is in the show, but I do like him as an actor. I loved Sons of Anarchy. I thought that show was fucking awesome. I agree, Al. Jason X is very underrated. It's my 3rd favorite in the franchise. I won't go that far, but it's in the top half for me.
Yeah,
for sure. Stacy says top 5 Steve Martin movies. Are you a Steve Martin fan?
I am. I'm a big Steve Martin fan.
Okay, can you come up with 5?
My Blue Heaven.
Nice.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I think that's on almost everybody's list.
Yeah.
Think here. He was in Three Amigos, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Three Amigos. What is that? 3. Bowfinger.
Bowfinger. Yeah, love Bowfinger. Chubby Rain.
and hang on here. There's another one I just don't remember the name of it. I don't know. It's not. I don't want to say House Sitter. I don't want to. Parenthood.
Yeah, Parenthood's on my list.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd go with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for sure. Parenthood for sure. And then All of Me with Lily Tomlin. I think that movie is fucking hysterically funny. I'll go with The Man with Two Brains because that movie cracks me up.
Okay.
And I still have a really, really big soft spot for The Jerk. So, I'll go with The Jerk.
That's a good one.
But thank you. Thank you so much for that, Stacy. I appreciate it. Real quickly. And Al agrees with The Jerk. Yeah, I read your comment, Juno, about Christine. And yeah, we'll talk about that later. I understand. Oz Perkins, for real, recently lost the bidding to win Texas Chainsaw Massacre rights to A24. Universal now courting Oz for new Psycho movies. Is that a good idea? $110 million budget. Who should play the Martin Balsam role? I do not see Oz Perkins doing that. I think that is Hollywood rumor. I do not see him doing that. I just don't. Yeah. Not to mention, he's doing his own thing, and he's doing fine. Have you seen the trailer for his new one coming out? I forgot what the hell it's called, man, but it looks creepy as hell, man.
A lot of his movies that I've seen have been creepy, like Long Legs and
The Monkey's a comedy.
That was.
I love The Monkey, but it's not scary. It's funny as hell.
What is that one movie I watched of his? The Black Coat's Daughter.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That was a crazy movie.
But yeah, that new trailer, man, it looks pretty creepy. Dan says, I thought the realistic Steve Railsback Ed Gein movie seemed pretty definitive, but I guess they have to keep recycling everything. Yeah, unfortunately.
That was a good one.
Steve Railsback played a great Charles Manson back in the day too, in the Helter Skelter TV movie.
Oh yeah.
Scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Let's see here. And Adam says, hello, Adam, by the way. Juno 2000's comment regarding Netflix's Ed Gein's production is absolutely correct. Charlie Hunman did the best he possibly could with the material, but don't waste your time with it, Jim and Bryan. Okay. Yeah, I've been hearing very mixed things about it. Steve Railsback was great. Stuntman, that's a movie I want on Blu-ray. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or not, but oh my god, that movie's awesome. From 1980.
Yeah.
It's Peter O'Toole and Barbara Hershey. Great movie. Yeah, Patrick, I agree. Send Help looks insanely fun. Have you seen the trailer for that?
No.
That's a new Sam Raimi movie. And Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien's her boss, treats her like shit. They're on a company retreat. The plane crashes on a deserted island. They're the only two that survive.
Ooh.
And he's still trying to be like Mr. Alpha boss. And she's like, fuck you. You're in my world now, bitch. You know, and it does. It looks like it gets pretty crazy. So, okay. Stacy says, do you want a Tom Berenger commentary on the Shoot to Kill new edition of that is made? I would love that, Stacy, but it's never going to happen. Shoot to Kill is a touchstone film. Disney, they're not going to. It's not going to happen. I would love it if it was going to happen. It would have already happened. Let's put it that way. And Gino says also the Ed Gein show wants you to be sympathetic, which is pretty pathetic. Oh, okay. Again, I haven't seen it, so all right. Have you seen a lot of movies from this year?
Not really.
Okay. Do you have a
favorite question?
Do you have a favorite movie that you've seen this year so far?
I mean, I like The Monkey. That was this year, right? Yeah, it was earlier this year.
The Monkey's the most fun I've had.
Yeah. The Conjuring Last Rites was okay. I didn't hate it, but it's not the strongest in the franchise. I have yet to watch Weapons. So I need to get on that.
Did you see Bloodlines? Final Destination Bloodlines?
No, I actually did not watch that one yet either.
And you're going to have fun with that one, too. If you like The Monkey.
The new Black Phone that just came out.
Yeah. No, if you like The Monkey, you're going to like Bloodlines.
Okay.
They make a great double feature, man. I mean, they're very, very similar, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Okay, well, no, that's fine because I've noticed most of the people that I've talked to, they don't connect with new movies as much as they tend to watch older movies, you know. And by and large, I agree with that. But this year has been a pretty strong movie year, you know. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's been like a year of classics, but there's been, by and large, some really good, entertaining movies. And I've gotten lucky, at least. Most of the movies I've watched, I've enjoyed. You know, there's only been like one or two this year that I haven't liked. I got into an argument today with some of my friends over in the UK because they were getting ready to watch the new Jurassic Park movie. Have you seen that? Rebirth? I didn't like it. I turned it off halfway through it. But they're going on and on about how great it is. And it's like, hey, if you enjoy it, that's fine.
I like the original trilogy, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I like I told them, when the second trilogy started or whatever, and they got Chris Pratt, you know, Star-Lord, out there being a dinosaur whisperer with a fucking velociraptor doing this sort of shit, you know, and it was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done, you know? And I started to watch this new one, and it was like deja vu all over again. Like, I've seen this movie before, even though I haven't seen this movie before, because they're all the same, you know?
We keep on recycling.
Yep. But there has also been some really good original films this year, which surprises me. Okay. Have you seen Sinners?
Not yet.
Okay. A lot of people compare Sinners to From Dusk Till Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it is.
I've heard that.
First half of the movie is one thing, and then the vampires show up, just like in From Dusk Till Dawn. Mm-hmm. That is really the only comparison between the two. You know, tone-wise, they couldn't be more different. Mm-hmm. So I consider Sinners an original movie, you know, an original IP at least. Okay. But you talked about The Weapon, or you haven't seen it yet, but Weapons is definitely in that category. You know, it's an original film. There's also been some really good Stephen King adaptations. Now, you saw The Monkey. Did you see The Life of Chuck or The Long Walk?
Not yet.
Neither of them? Okay. I don't know how you're going to like either one of them, to be honest. Okay, because they're both divisive films, just like The Monkey. Okay, because with The Monkey, I've noticed a lot of people love it, and a lot of people are like, that movie was a piece of shit. So obviously we're in the one camp.
I guess they weren't expecting all the comedy that came with it.
They were expecting a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
And it's not a horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a gory comedy.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is, But yeah, Weapons I think you'll like. Okay, but The Long Walk is my favorite movie I've seen this year. But it's not a feel-good movie.
No, it's from the guy that did The Hunger Games.
Darling. Well, he directed it. Yeah, Francis Lawrence directed it. But it's based on a Stephen King story, and it's the first thing he ever wrote.
Yep.
And I read that book when I was like 19 years old, about the same age as the characters that are in the story. And it hit me, And quite honestly, I didn't think that they would ever have the balls to do that movie properly. And quite honestly, they did. Because that movie's fucking brutal, man. I mean, it's brutal. But it's not a good time. It's not the type of movie where people are like, hey, man, let's throw The Long Walk on, It's like you watch that movie and it's an emotional experience. Let's put it that way,
Yeah.
And The Life of Chuck is like the exact opposite. Okay. It's a very strange movie. It's a very divisive movie. It's one of those movies that manipulates you. It tries to get you to feel a certain way. And I generally hate movies like that. And that movie worked with me. I sat there bawling my head off at one point. I mean, but again, it's another one of those movies I could see where you're going to love it or you're going to be like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
So, okay, real quickly, I'll get off my little rant here because I know I missed a lot of comments here. Juno says, it's been a mixed year for movies, which a few good ones, but some are just crap. Yeah, the Naked Gun remake. Oh my God, what a piece of shit that was.
Didn't really care to see that.
I didn't want to see it at all. And then one of my friends saw it and said that it was hilarious. And all the critics said it was hilarious. So I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it. And painful movie. Long Walk is the best movie. Yeah, Long Walk it's a great film. Here you go. Stacy says, favorite thrillers of the 90s.
Oh boy. I mean, I always think of like Single White Female. I think of like here's a like The Fourth Floor. Have you seen that? The Fourth Floor with Juliette Lewis, I believe.
No, I haven't seen that.
That's a good one.
I'm a big fan of The Game.
That's a good one. Yeah. Sleeping with the Enemy, right?
Yeah, Julia.
Yeah.
Nice. Juno says the Toxic Avenger remake was a big surprise. I really enjoyed it, and I like more than the original, and did something different. Even though I don't care about remakes, did you see that?
I'd like to, but I have not.
That's Larry's favorite movie this year. He fucking loved that movie, and I watched it and I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge fan of the original.
Yeah.
So I didn't have like an attachment to it. And for what the new one is, it's entertaining, but it's not something that I would probably watch again. Let's put it that way. No Tears in Hell is my favorite horror movie of 2025. I've never heard of that one.
Me neither.
Okay, well, he hasn't seen. Yeah, I'm going to skip that because you haven't seen Weapons yet. Sorry. Godzilla 98 is much better than the Jurassic World, but I don't know about that. Yeah, Patrick, I agree. Godzilla 98 is fucking
that was terrible. Pretty bad. I remember seeing that in the theater and going like, what the hell?
Now, Godzilla -1, on the other hand, is a fantastic movie. That one I would highly, highly recommend. Okay. Here comes one of Stacy's crazy scenarios. Tarantino calls you. I don't know how he got your number, but he does. He's like, screw it. What horror franchise should I take? Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, or another one? Quentin says, thanks. How do you answer him? So if you wanted to see Tarantino do a film from one of those franchises or another franchise, what would you suggest?
I think of a way he would change something to put more, I guess, add more action to something.
Yeah.
Trying to think something that's not blasphemy to come out of my mouth right now.
Yeah, not to mention most of those franchises don't have a lot of dialogue, and that's what Tarantino is known for is his dialogue.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe do a Silence of the Lambs type movie.
Yeah, that would be
because I'd like to hear his dialogue come out of Hannibal Lecter's mouth.
That makes the most sense to me.
So, yeah, she loves her franchise and remake questions all the time. Adam, to reassure you, Jim, some of us over here in the UK have tasted enough common sense not to like the new Jurassic Park movie and lost interest. Thank you. That's the way I feel. You know, I like the first one. I mean, I love the first one, and I enjoy Lost World for what it is.
Yeah.
And part 3 is okay for what it is. And after that,
it's just no.
Gino says, Prisoners of War with Scott Adkins is another good one from this year. And it one-man war movie, Japanese POW camp where he rescues Americans held captive. Never heard of that one. And he also says 8mm. Oh, God damn it! I hate these comments now. 8mm is underrated. Yeah,
that's a good one.
8mm is a gnarly movie, man. She keeps asking what your favorite Nintendo games are. Did you ever have a Nintendo game or NES back in the day?
No, I was more of a Super Nintendo kid.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought you were probably a little bit too young for that.
I had a friend that had an NES, but
I had one.
Just got the Super Nintendo.
Oh, what the hell happened to my comments all at once? Okay. I'm trying to go through some of these real quickly. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, my good friend Barry's here. Hey, how's it going, buddy? All the way from the UK. Evening, lads. I'm completely lost with these new films as I haven't watched anything new in years. Now, didn't you just tell me in one of my comments the other day, Barry, that you had seen something that was relatively recent, and I was shocked that you had seen something from this decade? Because he's all about Steven Seagal movies from the 80s, man. She wants to see Travolta play Loomis. That would be kind of funny.
That would be a little weird. I mean, be okay.
Let's see here. The issue I have with Scott Adkins is John Wick 4's fat suit. It looks like crap. It would have been better to fight Keanu Reeves without that shit, so he would fight more faster because the fat. Yeah, but you know what, Gino? I got to disagree with you on that, because to me, that's what makes that fight so damn funny and so much fun, is because he's so fat and big, you know, and takes so much abuse. So, you a John Wick fan?
I've seen bits and pieces of the movies, but yeah, I consider myself a Keanu Reeves fan. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, if you would have told me years ago, I mean, we're talking way back when like Bill and Ted came out.
Oh yeah.
That guy was going to be not only the biggest movie star in the world, but undoubtedly one of the biggest action stars in the world, I would have thought you were on crack.
Yeah.
And I love Keanu. Don't get me wrong. I've always loved the guy, but it's like I never in a million years would have thought that he would have became what he became. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Tarantino is yeah. Keep baiting that hook. It's not going to work. He's been trying to bait me all week. He asked me the other day, because I did a video on remakes that I like. And in the comments, of course, he goes, so how do you feel about the remakes of The Fog, Psycho, and The Omen? And he's just trying to bait me. And it's like, nope, it ain't going to work, you bastard. I always know what you did last summer reboot into Stranger Chapter 2 suck ass this year, and they're the most. I haven't seen either one of them, and I have no desire to see either one of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
Man from Tai Chi with Keanu was really surprising. Yeah, I think he directed that or something, or he produced it or something. He was definitely really involved with it. Let's put it that way. Chain Reaction. Yeah, Chain Reaction used to be on all the time. Real quick, making sure I didn't miss anything. She says Johnny Mnemonic. That I can never say that. Mnemonic or Chain Reaction. I remember I did not like Johnny Mnemonic at all when I saw it, and I barely remember the other one. So, Sean is here. Hey, Sean, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate you, man. And speaking of Sean, and of course, you know, and Kenny, I'm here to be a whore, and I'm going to take this opportunity to remind everybody that Tuesday night, the 21st, on the next edition of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. Our very special guests will be Bryan here and Larry from the Whorecat Dad, who is also in the comments. We're going to be talking franchise horror films, and we're not just going to be talking about the biggies. We're not going to cover every franchise, of course, because the show is only 2 hours long, but we are going to try to cover quite a few. So hopefully you guys can join us on that. Speaking of, okay, without any kind of spoilers, all right, but do you have a favorite horror franchise? You know, your go-to?
I like a lot of franchises. I mean, I used to be a big Friday the 13th fan. I still am, but I think I've expanded a little bit more. But I would probably still say that's probably my favorite of the main.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's probably the one that's nearest and dearest to me. But I think as years have gone by, I'll go with the Evil Dead franchise.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Including the reboots and including the TV show, because I fucking love that TV show. Oh, yeah. That TV show was so much fun.
They shouldn't have canceled it.
No, especially the way that it ended. They definitely could have kept going with it because I was looking for some. Okay, let's talk some 80s horror, because we already established that, you know, 80s horror is your favorite, which it's my favorite too. Okay. Do you have, like, you know, outside of the big ones, okay, how about like 3 or 4 little or maybe lesser known movies from the 80s, horror flicks that you just love, that you would recommend? I
got one right here because today's the anniversary, the 40th, the big 40. That is Reanimator.
Love it.
Actually, love it. I did order that big 4K set from Second Sight, but that should be here in like next month, I believe. But yeah, this is the old Arrow release.
That's the deluxe version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Out of print version.
Yeah, that's the one I got too.
With the comic book and everything.
That comic book is awesome.
Oh yeah. I think about other 80s films I like. Where is it? Superstition, if you guys have seen that one from 82.
That's a deep cut.
It's very good. Then again, I'm a big Jennifer Jason Leigh fan. No, I'm thinking of a different movie for that.
Yeah, it's Eyes of a Stranger.
Eyes of a Stranger, that's a good one too. I'm sure there's quite a few behind me and to my left here. Just randomly grab ones off the shelf. Like TerrorVision, you guys have seen that one. TerrorVision, it's cheesy stuff there. 80s. If you guys are familiar with the Truth or Dare series,
I've seen the first one.
Right on. Tim Ritter series. He also did what's it called? There's another movie that Tim Ritter did that I absolutely love. It's drawing a blank here. Anyway.
Speaking of franchises, that's a deep one. Subspecies. I didn't realize there were 6 of those fucking movies.
Oh yeah, I think they just made
I know Larry's a huge fan of them. Yeah, I had no idea there were 6 of those. You know? Let's see here.
Oh, I think it's Killing Spree. I was thinking of Killing Spree.
Nice. I'd like to see an all Chicago set movies reviewed sometime for a theme week or month. Always fun to hear that city's. There's so many movies set in Chicago, Stacy, and most of them just annoy the piss out of me because they film in Vancouver and they pretend that it's Chicago. You know,
Child's Play was filmed in Chicago, right? Or was
yeah.
Place? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good Chicago one. Candyman as well. Around the same area, actually, you know, in the old Cabrini Green. To me, the ultimate Chicago film is still the Blues Brothers. It always will be. I
got another good slasher here for you, Jim.
What's that?
The Prowler.
Oh, hell yeah. Tom Savini, baby.
Yes. Rosemary's Killer.
Yeah, Tom Savini's. Joseph Zito directed that one too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. See? Still got a couple of brain cells left. Not many, but I have a couple.
Yep.
For me, A Nightmare on Elm Street, because it's only 9 movies and no overdone like Halloween and Clusterfuck Chainsaw. I don't like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street for sure. And Elm Street was always my favorite until recently when I went back and watched those movies again. I still love, I mean, the first one to me is still the greatest slasher of all time. I love the original Elm Street. And I love Dream Warriors. And I really, really, really like New Nightmare. And I like Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them can fuck off. I mean, there's scenes in each one that I actually like.
Oh, yeah.
But none of the movies are good. None of them. I mean, like I said, those really, Part 1 and Part 3 are the only two that are, you know, top drawer horror movies for me at this point. So, but I still love Elm Street. I mean, I'll always love Elm Street. So, how about you? How do you feel about those Elm Street movies?
I mean, I since I grew up with them, I would agree with you on that. I was always big on 1 and 3. They were my top, and then of course New Nightmare. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed Freddy's Dead. I don't know why, because I went back to watch it again, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of dumb.
Yeah, I saw that at the theater, pal, with those shitty 3D glasses.
But I am actually interested in watching the extra cut of Part 5, even though that's not the strongest film in the series at all. But yeah.
Yeah. Now, the extra cut on Part 5, they're extending my favorite scene in Part 5, and that's the motorcycle kill.
That is correct. Yep.
And from that standpoint, yeah, I'd love to see that, you know, but that's still, it's a shitty movie. It just is, you know.
Yeah.
It's better than Freddy's Dead, though.
That's for sure.
And it's definitely better than the remake. So.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Oh, that remake pissed me off. Bell says, "Oop, god damn it." Bell says Friday is his favorite franchise. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Friday the 13th is like McDonald's. You know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not gourmet, but it's filling. It's satisfying. You know, and that's why I love Friday the 13th. Now, there's a couple of movies in that series that I will never watch again. Jason Goes to Hell is definitely top of that list.
Yeah.
And probably Jason Takes Manhattan's right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I'm not a big fan of Part 3 either, unless it's in 3D. Just because every character in that movie is annoying. You know what I mean?
100%.
But the rest of them, throw them on a fucking loop, man. I'll watch them all.
Part 3 is definitely iconic because he gets his mask in it.
Yeah.
I like the scene where he shoots the girl in the eye with the, what is it? When he's walking on the pier and he shoots her in the eye.
Oh, with the spear gun.
With the spear gun, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that one in the theater when I was a kid. That was the first one I saw, okay, in 3D. And when the guy gets, you know, you watch it now and it's so bad, but when he gets his head pushed and his eyeball pops out, you can see, you know, the mechanism now.
Yeah.
But in 3D, it did. It looked like that fucking eyeball popped right into your lap, man. And it was like, oh, this is amazing, you know. But you watch that movie in standard, you know, without the 3D, and it's horrible. It's just nonstop this shit. You know, I mean, hey, I'm juggling balls. Hey, I'm popping popcorn. Hey, I'm holding a pole. Hey, I'm doing it. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, just get on with it. You know? But every time I say something bad about that movie, I catch shit because people fucking love that. Same thing with Jason Lives. That's the other one. Okay, I like that movie, but I don't love it because it's like a Scooby Doo movie. There's very little blood in it.
Yeah, it's
it's
my least watched ones in the series.
It's the most professional looking of them. Okay, it looks like a real movie. It doesn't look like a cheap Friday the 13th movie. But they did, man. They took all the balls out of that movie, and it's like, you know, it does. It plays more like a comedy than it does an actual horror film, in my opinion. But again, people fucking love that movie, and they'll defend it. You know, you like Jason X, but you don't like Jason Lives. You're a fucking idiot. You know, that sort of shit. You know? Let's see here, Bryan. Favorite movie made in or near your region? What part of the country are you from, by the way? I forgot to ask.
I am East Coast, in the Washington, D.C. area. So, I mean, I always think of Blair Witch Project because, you know, it's kind of close to where I lived at the time. Some people don't like the movie. I don't like the whole, you know, make me feel sick every time I watch it, but just the idea of it was cool at the time. But yeah, that's basically what I have near me. I mean, if you guys, I'll pull out a deep cut here. You guys ever watch The Bay?
Good movie.
Deep Bay.
Barry Levinson.
That's close around here too.
Yeah, that movie's for a found footage movie. That one, I like that one more than Blair Witch. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And there's definitely some creepy ass shit in the Bay. It takes a while to get to it. You got to have patience with that movie.
Oh yeah.
But once it gets to it, man, it's like, yeah. It's pretty gnarly. Yeah. Wow, I haven't seen that movie in years, man. Good for you, man. That's a great one. Elle says Reanimator's great. Yep. Sean agrees. It's excellent. Yeah, it's definitely one of the top 10 of all time, in my opinion. Slow down on that vodka, Jim. No, I'm not a vodka drinker, but thank you. Eyes of the Ranger? No, Stranger. Eyes of a Stranger.
Stranger. Yeah. Sometimes I get those mixed up.
TerrorVision is fun. I recommend Rumple Foreskin horror film, aka Rumpelstiltskin. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Rumple Foreskin. That sounds like a porno. It's the sequel to Dick Shark, which I thought was a joke until, you know.
Yeah, it's a real movie.
It's a real movie. Thanks, Dan. We're bringing Dick Shark to my attention. Great choice with Reanimator, Bryan. If you have a record player, check out the new Glow in the Dark variant vinyl release from Waxwork Records in the U.S. Yeah, it's basically a Psycho soundtrack or Psycho score, just played a little more bouncier, but you know. And I remember people were up in arms about that shit too. Oh, they stole the music. It's right there in the credits. It says a special thank you to Edward Herman. You know, I mean, it's like it's right there, and people still lost their minds over that shit. Blues Brothers first film was great. Second one, yeah, Blues Brothers 2000 is one of the worst movies ever made. Okay, here we go. Worst film from one of the main franchises. Seed of Chucky for me. Horrendous film. Okay, so yeah, we can play that game. From the Child's Play, what's your least favorite?
Child's Play?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people hate on Seed, which I get that. Yeah, I can go with Seed. I mean, what was it? The Cult of Chucky, the last one, it didn't really do anything for me.
I didn't see Curse or Cult or the remake, to be honest. Yeah. Seed was the last one I saw.
Yeah.
And I liked Seed for what it was. I mean, it's just as... But yeah, I'd probably go with Seed. Although I'm not a huge fan of Part 2 either.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, what do you think is... Well, we already said that Jason Goes to Hell is the worst Friday film. And Freddy's Dead's probably the worst Friday or Nightmare film.
Yeah.
What about Halloween? And you can include the remakes and reboots and all that shit too if you want.
I never really got into Rob Zombie's version. A lot of people hate on Resurrection, which I kind of also have to agree with them on that.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes is your final guy. It's just like, okay, all right, that's what we're going with now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide which is worse though, Resurrection or Part 6. Because Part 6 is fucking horrible. I don't care what anybody says. Who is that dude in the alley? Who is the cowboy guy? I mean, I still don't know what the fuck any of that was about.
I don't know. I got a question for you. Which one is worse?
I got to go with Next Generation, but I've only seen each of them only once. Yeah. So, yeah. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of that whole franchise. No. You know, even the original Tobe Hooper movie, it's one of those. I mean, I own it, and I own Part 2. You know, the two Tobe Hooper movies.
Yeah.
The first one I think I respect more than I actually like, and the second one I just like it because it's so batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not a good movie. But it's Cocaine the Movie Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because Maximum Overdrive is Cocaine the Movie, of course. So. But
and Leatherface Part 3 is like I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
You know, even with the remake, they came out with the remake, and then they came out with a prequel to that, and then a sequel to that, and then they rebooted it again, and it's like,
just leave it alone.
As much as I think Leatherface is iconic, okay, he is definitely an icon. Is there's that much meat on the bone where they can just keep going back to it over and over and over again? I mean, it's just, you know, I don't get it. I just probably because it is the easiest one to reboot. You know, with Freddy, you got to hit that character just right. I mean, they found that out, and I don't blame Jackie Earle Haley for that movie. He was probably the best thing about that movie, you know. But that movie is just, oh God, don't get me going on that piece of shit.
Oh, no. Quite a few things I could talk about too, but
love the Prowler. Hell yeah. Prowler and Intruder are excellent. Nightmare 5 is humongous, boring piece of shit, and Freddy fucking annoying. And now, see, that's when Freddy's became a stand-up comedian. You know, I mean, it kind of started in Part 3, but then it went full-blown in Part 4 and 5 and 6, and it's just, that's when it kind of lost me, you know? Okay, this question's definitely for you, because it ain't for me. How many IFC films do you have in your collection? You probably got a lot.
Like collaborations with Shout Studios and stuff. I have a few. Yeah, I can't give you the exact amount, but I have a few.
Yeah, he's really into those IFC films.
What is that? One that I give another recommendation if I have it behind me, which I probably don't.
And Sean says, Freddy is a great character trapped in a series of mostly mediocre movies other than 1, 3, and A New Nightmare. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if anything, he's scarier in New Nightmare than anything since the original.
Oh, yeah. Because it comes to the real world, yeah.
Let's see here. Barry says, Intruder had some great kills. Freddy Dead is a time waster. Do enjoy it. Much better Dream Child. And let's see here. Prowler, The Burning, and My Bloody Valentine, top 3 slashers from that era. And they're all Canadian slashers. Daniel is here. Hey, Daniel, how you doing, buddy? I was talking about you earlier, Daniel. This is the guy from Sweden who fucking hates Midsummer. you were talking about that earlier, buddy. Intruder is great and directed by Scott Spiegel, who also directed From Dusk Till Dawn 2, which is great. I've never seen any of the sequels to From Dusk Till Dawn. I love the original, though. Part 6 Freddy film is my favorite. Alice Cooper, he's back in the banger. You know, that's the other thing. Part 6. That opening title sequence, the fucking James Bond thing. That right there should have tipped me off where that movie was going.
Right.
You know, and it didn't. So that's on me, I guess. I'm sure you mentioned to me that Freddy's Dead is in your. Stop having dreams about me, Barry. We've talked about this. I'd rather watch Freddy's Dead over Halloween Ends and Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Yeah, Juno, he is notorious for, you get him going about Halloween Ends, he will never shut up. He hates that fucking movie more than I do. Jason X is my third favorite and never found to hate it. It's much better than Jason Goes to Hell. It's more entertaining. I mean, that movie knows what it is. And unfortunately, a lot of the audience doesn't. You know, they take it way too seriously. Does Paramount Plus edit out the Squaw Native story that Tom Friday part? I haven't watched it on Paramount Plus, so I have no idea. I own the box set. So
yeah, the out of print box set now, apparently.
Yeah, so, and I love that box set. I still think it's the best thing Scream Factory ever put out. Massacre 2022. Is that the Netflix one? Not seen it, but if it is, I can only imagine. Yeah, that is the Netflix one.
The only cool scene that I liked in that whole movie was the bus scene. That was it.
I agree, Barry. Chainsaw Massacre 2022 is filled with political messages and unlikable characters, and they disrespect the Sally character. Oh, yeah. I don't even know who the Sally character. Oh, now I know. I had to think about it for a second. Real quickly here. Hey, hello, ladies. Mika and Kara from the Double Feature Podcast. They will be my special guests next week on the 25th for episode 23, which will be closing out the live content for Shocktober. And ladies, I cannot wait to have you on the stage. You are wonderful. So we will see you in a week. Cult of Fucky, aka Cult of Chucky, is the worst one. Again, I haven't seen it. Godzilla 1954. That's my dad's first picture. The original Godzilla is great. It's great. There's some new film that probably won't get called Fuck My Son. It looks bizarre. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
Okay.
It's bizarre, man. He's right. It looks bizarre as shit. So. Texas is like, yeah, I thought it was fake at first and was like, no way. Yeah, that trailer is. It's like, okay, I opened this can of worms. Here it comes. Juno. Halloween. Horse ass sequel. The worst sequel of all time. Worse than Chainsaw Next Generation. Worse than Exorcist 2. And worse than Friday Jason Takes Manhattan. I don't know if I would go so far as to say it's worse than Exorcist 2.
I have yet to watch that one. I've seen 1 and 3, and that's...
Exorcist 2 is rough, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking rough. And here we go, some more. Halloween has really personally pissed me off how they did Michael Myers dirty. And you have a fucking romance Twilight storyline and freaking Halloween film. Like, what the fuck? Yep, I'm right there with you, Judo. Okay, here we go. Chainsaw Massacre 2 is awful. Remake is great, and the beginning is good as well. I enjoy 3 as well. It's got Ken in it, who is always great. Okay? Don't know who Ken is, but... Oh, shit. And then we've got... Rooney Mara was more boring than a wooden door, and she gave a half-assed performance as she didn't like working in the film and shit on horror film. Fuck her comment.
Yeah.
And Daniel says, sorry to say that I think all Elm Street movies suck. Oh, come on now, Daniel. The first one's great. But he also says Midsommar is the worst movie ever. I know he's talking about Midsommar. I agree. Midsommar is a giant piece of shit with the most dumbass characters to follow. It's way too long. I know that. Question for Bryan. How did you get into indie horror?
Thank
you, Kenny.
I just like supporting like independent artists because I've found a lot of people on like Instagram and YouTube and like writers, actors, and I see what they do and they really enjoy what they do in life, and I like to support them. I used to write a little bit myself, not so much anymore. Don't have the time for it. I wish I did. So, yeah, just like to support the independent people. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And most horror back in the day was independent.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of it was back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, before The Exorcist, and then suddenly it was, you know. Okay, let me rephrase that. Horror started off as studio films, of course, with the Universal monsters and stuff like that. But in the 60s, the majority of horror was definitely independent, and then became studios. You know, like New Line Cinema is the house that Freddie built.
Yep.
And that's a fact. I mean, that is seriously a fact, you know. Roger Corman, you know, started off with nothing and basically gave half of Hollywood their first break, you know, with some of these cheesy ass horror movies that I love. You know, you were talking about The Howling earlier. Joe Dante is perfect example for that. You know, he never would have gotten a career without Corman. So, have you seen that? Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Sean, before you got here, and yeah, it looks pretty damn good. On this Tuesday, me and Texas are gonna rant watch Party on Halloween Ends. It's gonna happen.
I'll have fun with that. Have fun with that.
The legend Ken Faree, Jim from Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, awesome. I love Ken Faree. Okay, guys, we're at an hour and a half. So if you have any questions for Bryan, this would be the time to come up with them. Because if not, I'm gonna go back to my boring questions for him, and you guys will never find out what his favorite giallo film is. What is your favorite giallo film, by the way?
I'm gonna be basic here. As basic as anyone else.
I knew you were gonna bring that up, and that's why I mentioned giallo, because man, the other day I talked about the remake video I did, right?
Yeah.
And one of the remakes I highlighted was Suspiria.
This one? Yeah.
Yes. I own the remake. I do not own the original.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of saying that even though I don't think it's a better film, I prefer the remake. Okay. And people lost their fucking minds like I, you know, said something bad about their mother. I mean,
there's a lot of giallos.
I've been catching shit about that for like a week now. You know, how could you possibly like that pretentious piece of shit? And it's like, it's too long, right, but I really like it, you know, so.
There's a lot of giallos I haven't watched yet. I think this is a giallo, right? The New York Ripper.
Oh, yeah. New York Ripper? Yeah. Yeah, Deep Red's probably my favorite.
Deep Red, Opera, anything from Argento, really.
Yeah, see, again, I'm not really a giallo fan or an Argento fan. He's one of those, you know, him, Fulci, a couple of the others. I respect them. Mm-hmm. You know, I hold them in very high regard, and I understand the legacy that they have brought to the horror genre in general. It's just not my flavor of horror, though, you know, by and large. But when it hits great. Like I said, Deep Red's a great movie. I fucking love that movie.
Suspiria for me, it's all the colors.
Yeah, see, and to me, that's the thing that I have. Maybe that's my gripe about that type of film. Okay, to me, it's always about style over substance, and I appreciate it more than I actually enjoy it. You know, so. But yeah, I get into heated arguments about that shit. You know, and it's like, again, I don't disparage people for what they like. You know, I mean, you like what you like, you know, but for whatever reason, I never connected with Suspiria. The trailer for that movie scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like 10 years old when that movie came out. And they used to play that fucking music, you know, even on radio spots, it would give me the creeps, you know? So, okay, let's see here. Here we go. Best and worst film from Sam Raimi. Best is The Evil Dead. The worst is Doctor Strange 2. What do you think?
Was not a big fan of Spider-Man 3, but a lot of people didn't care for that movie anyway. Best Sam Raimi. mean, I really enjoy the Evil Dead series as a whole. Can't really pick one over the other. I think I watched part 2 before I watched part 1. It's the same movie. It's just more comedic than the other one is. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. My favorite would definitely be Evil Dead 2.
Mm.
But I think his best film is A Simple Plan with Billy Bob Thornton and
good one, yes.
Bill Paxton. Yeah, I love that movie. I think it's great. Worst.
He did The Gift too, didn't he? The Gift.
Yeah, which I like that movie as well. I didn't like For Love of the Game, the baseball movie that he did with Kevin Costner. So that would probably be my least favorite. But thank you, Gino. That was great. And Sean agrees with Gino's picks. I enjoyed the original more than the remake. I'm assuming he's talking about Suspiria. The remake was average, but not as bad as The Fog. But the OG is my cup of tea.
The remake of The Fog is...
It's bad. It's real fucking bad. Yeah. It's not as bad as the remake of The Omen, though. Oh god, that movie just... Oh. I fucking hate that movie. Here we go. L. Favorite foreign language horror film?
Favorite. Well, I guess what's it called? There's one that I watched a while ago. I think it's French, but I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
What's it about?
It's about a house in the woods that is there, but you can't see it.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not familiar with that.
I think it's French. Yeah, it's a French film. Totally blanking what it was called though. But I have like a really shitty DVD of it that I'm trying to get a Blu-ray for, but it's out of print. It goes for well over $100. So
wow.
Good luck finding that one.
Yeah, I'll go with Train to Busan.
That's a good one.
I fucking love Train to Busan. And if I had a runner-up, I would probably go with Inside from France, because that movie's just brutal. It's just brutal. Let's see here.
Here's another good one. Another Argento.
Tenebrae? Tenebrae. I've never seen Tenebrae. And I've heard good things about it.
It's a good one.
Let's see here. Daniel says Blood and Black Lace from Mario Bava is so good. Sometimes they may lose story from too much gruesome gore and not enough story, which lost me. That's why I enjoy movies like Maniac and Intruder more than the New York Ripper. Yeah, I like the remake of Maniac as well. And yeah, Daniel, I know you love your Italian horror. As a matter of fact, Daniel's going to have an interview with an Italian director coming up soon on his channel. So cool. When we get closer to that, I will definitely pimp that out on my channel for you, Daniel. Barry says Evil Dead 2 is the best Raimi movie for him. Yeah, it's my favorite, without a doubt. Al says Wreck or Inside for me. Wreck is awesome.
Yes.
I own the box set, and the first two movies are great. The other two, but the first two are fucking phenomenal. My favorite is Battle Royale and Carnage film that I enjoyed more than The Hunger Games. See, now, to me, Battle Royale is not a horror film. Otherwise, I would have mentioned that one, because Battle Royale is one of my favorite movies of all time. I fucking love it. So, oh, here you go, Mika. High Tension's a great one. Yes, it is. The ending's a little off, but it's still a really good movie.
Yeah, I agree with you on
that. Battle Royale is great. And High Tension. I hate these things. One of our favorites from Raimi is Drag Me to Hell. That movie never connected with me the way I hoped it would. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't own it. Let's put it that way. Tenebrae is amazing. Oh, no problem, Daniel. No problem at all, buddy. You're one of my nearest and dearest friends on YouTube. Train to Busan is a great one. One of our favorite zombie films. That movie packed an emotional punch that I never in a million years thought I would ever have with a goofy zombie movie. I mean, that movie brought me to tears. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I knew Texas would jump in with Martyrs. He's a big fan of Martyrs. And LaForge. I haven't seen LaForge. Seen Martyrs.
Another movie that he did, Martyrs, Incident in the Ghostland. That was pretty solid too.
Yeah. And Sean says Ringo, the original version of The Ring.
Oh yeah.
I prefer Ringo to The Ring, no doubt. So yeah, that's a good one, Sean.
Another movie that is celebrating its anniversary today would be The Ring.
Yeah, I hate the remake, but I understand I'm in the minority on that. But
no, Ringo creeped me out a lot more.
Yeah, Ringo on the other hand, yeah, that's great.
Just that one eyeball just peeking out of the hair. Just
13 Assassins by Mike and Harakiri by Mike. And Texas agrees with that, as does Barry. Juno says, drag me to hell, okay. The thing that annoys me is the stupid lead character keeps opening her damn mouth when the gypsy lady vomit, poop, and puke in her mouth. Like, who the fuck would open their mouth?
Yeah, right.
Oh, Juno, I'm so happy you're here, buddy. I missed you. Juno was offline for way too long. Al says that he agrees with Barry. Okay. All right. Let me get back to my stuff here. You were on a desert island, but for whatever reason, you have a working TV, a working Blu-ray player, and 3 movies. What are those 3 movies to keep you occupied until the search party arrives?
Only 3, huh?
Only 3.
All right. We'll do Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm gonna go with Street Trash.
Oh, nice.
The original Street Trash.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go with Suburbia.
Wow. Deep cut.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. You're still on that island, but suddenly your Blu-ray player took a shit. But your boombox works, so you have 3 CDs to keep you occupied. They can be soundtracks. They could be scores. They could be greatest hits albums, live albums, anything. But you only get 3. What are they?
I'll mix it up here a little bit. I'm going to do like a compilation of Led Zeppelin. One of my favorite bands of all time that some people don't know, Jawbreaker. I'm going to go with their first album, Unfun. And then I'm going to go with 9 Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine.
Nice. Head like a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Yep. All right, very good. Now, I'm going to allow you to have a hot take or a rant. Okay? Basically, something that you want to get off your chest as far as like movie related goes, whether it's the direction of movies or remakes or whatever, something that you just pisses you off and you just want to rant about for a minute.
Oh, I mean,
like Juno, when Juno was on here, he had no shortage of shit to bitch about,
I mean, I'm kind of with the majority that the remakes are just getting out of hand. I know they did them for a while, then they stopped, and they started being original, and then they went back to doing the remakes, reboots, reimaginings, whatever. There's got to be something new, something new.
Yeah, I mean,
we lack originality. Like we're running out of ideas.
My main complaint about remakes, okay, is it's just recycled shit. Now, when they do something like the Dawn of the Dead remake, for instance, where they take the general idea and then expand it or go in different directions, I find that interesting. I'm willing to give those types of movies a shot. But unfortunately, these wrote by number remakes and reimaginings or reboots, whatever the fuck you want to call them, well, people are up in arms about The Running Man coming out. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that or not.
Not yet.
Okay. People are up in arms about it because they love the Schwarzenegger movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't realize is, and they've shown this trailer, and this trailer does not have anything to do with that Schwarzenegger movie. Okay. But people are still up in arms saying, how could they that remake looks like shit? And it's not a remake.
No.
It's based on the actual book.
Yeah.
The Schwarzenegger movie wasn't. Okay. So from that standpoint, I'm looking forward to the new one.
Yeah.
Okay. But I know a lot of people are not, because again, they're like in that same boat that me and you are in. It's just another one of these fucking remakes, you know? I don't know if you were a fan of that original one, or if you have any desire to see the new one, or
it's been a while since I've actually watched the original, or the first movie that they made.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be willing to give it I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way, okay? The original movie is fun. Okay, I love it. All right, but it's not some untainable masterpiece that you can't touch. You know, like if somebody came out today and said they were remaking The Godfather or Goodfellas, I'd be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, fuck off. You know, I mean, but again, The Running Man, considering it wasn't really based on the book in the first place, I don't have a problem with. It's like, hey, bring it on. You know, so that's just my own opinion. Is there a holy grail film, though, in your eyes, that you're like, you know what, Hollywood better never fuck with this movie unless they decide to put it out in glorious 70 millimeter theatrically or something along those lines? Okay. Like for me, the movie that I think of is The Thing. Even though it's a remake and they've done a remake, quote unquote, of it,
yeah,
that movie should not be touched. It's a perfect film in my eyes.
Right.
Is there a movie like that for you?
Yeah, I was just gonna they really shouldn't remake Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's perfect the way it is. I know they were thinking about making a sequel. They were thinking about making a TV series at one point, but it never worked out. So just leave it alone.
Yeah, I think they are still working on a possible remake.
They did a video game.
Oh, okay.
Video game, yeah.
Okay. You know, something like that's fine. If you're going to put something like on a different medium or something.
Yeah.
You know, like Mad Max, before Fury Road came out, they released a Mad Max game for the PlayStation 4 or whatever, and I liked that game. It was like, you know, its own thing. So, and it was one of those rare video games based on a movie that was actually good. You know, most of those games are pretty fucking bad, man.
Oh yeah.
Favorite fast food place to get in and eat while watching a horror film? It's not fast food. It's got to be pizza.
Pizza. I don't eat a lot of fast food anymore, but I guess Chipotle would be considered that, but I don't eat that a lot anymore either. Maybe once a week.
Yeah, I was Corey, who was in the chat earlier, did a live stream yesterday, and I typed in the comments, I am currently eating 2 chili cheese burritos from Taco Bell. Oh, yeah. So disgusting, so good. I'm ashamed.
There you go.
I do. I told my wife last night, those things are disgusting. They're horrible. But for whatever reason lately, I've been like obsessed with them, and I don't know why. I don't even like Taco Bell. So 2018 Halloween trilogy is just stupid. They're doing it with the 28. Did you see 28 Years Later?
Not yet.
Man, that's a weird one.
I've heard.
It's a weird one, man. I mean, I again, I know a lot of people that loved it. Okay, I'm not one of those people, but I didn't hate it either.
Yeah.
It takes some swings, man. That's all I'll say. It takes some pretty wild swings. So from that standpoint, I respect it, but I didn't necessarily like it. You know? Right. So, Larry says The Crazies was a good. Yeah, actually, I prefer the remake of The Crazies to the original.
Me too.
Texas says, Juno, I'll eat Big Macs while eating Blood Feast. Oh, yeah, man. It's always a good time for Big Macs. Big Macs are the best. Yeah, I got to get them with no onions, though, because I don't like onions. Hills Has Eyes is a great read. Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned that in the video the other day.
Yeah.
And that's another one that I prefer the remake to the original.
Me too.
Sean says, "Hey Larry, looking forward to meeting you on Tuesday." Yeah, that show is going to be great, and we're going to be talking about that again here pretty soon. Larry says, "The Hills Have Thighs" is a great remake. Yeah, I bet. Is that an Asylum film?
Yeah.
Same with the Thing video game. Yep. For me personally, never remake John Carpenter's Christine. Remake is going to lose the magic of what the masterpiece great. I'll lose the badass aura, and you're going to miss. Okay, now here I'm going to disagree with you, Juno, because again, just like The Running Man, John Carpenter's Christine is not Stephen King's Christine, or The Shining, I should say. It's totally different than the book. So if they're going to do it a remake and focus it more on the actual book, I don't have a problem with it. If it's just an actual remake of the Carpenter film, I'm 100% with you. Fuck off. Don't even bother. So, and they could port over the music as far as I'm concerned. So,
right.
They did that with Halloween. So, and the Hills Have Eyes remake as much. Yeah, I mean, the original Hills Have Eyes is one of those movies that I respect more than actually enjoyed. Last House on the Left, same thing. I'd rather watch the remake than the original. So, and I love Wes Craven. Don't get me wrong. And of course, Kenny, Asylum rules. See what you did?
Sure, Nando.
You and Patrick, you warped Kenny's fragile little brain. He didn't get into horror until recently. Now he's into Asylum films. I mean, it's just. But anyways, guys, we are coming up on the 2-hour mark. So again, if you have any other questions, feel free to get in there and ask. This would be the time. But before we do, I want to give my good friend Bryan here a chance to plug anything he's got coming up on the show, on his channel or whatever. So by all means, sir, the floor is yours. What do you got going on?
I don't really have a lot going on other than our show coming up on Tuesday, like you had previously mentioned. And then I'll be throwing up a couple of videos here over the next week or so about what I've been picking up for the week. I like to go thrifting a lot, so I pick up things to either watch myself or to resell to fund my little addiction behind me here. So, yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, I know all about that, my friend. I know all about that.
Yep.
But anyways, if you guys have not done so, I cannot stress enough. Please go over to Bryan's channel at the Horror Punk. I'm going to leave all the links to his channel in the little community post that I do after the show every week. But as you can see from the last 2 hours, Bryan's a great guy. He's got a great channel, lots of really excellent content. And again, Bryan knows his shit. All right. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm blowing sunshine up your ass, dude, but you really do. You know your shit. And it's refreshing to go on to somebody's channel who is truly a movie fan as opposed to just a collector. You get some people that have as many movies as you do, but they haven't seen any of them. You know what I mean? Whereas you'll blind buy shit, but then you'll actually watch it. And then you'll post something on your channel saying, hey, here's this big ass stack of movies that I watched recently, and this is what I think. And that's what I find so refreshing about your stuff. So keep up the great work, man. And again, I hope you get a little bit of a bump from this appearance and from Tuesday's appearance, because we've had you on the show a couple of times with Sean and Kenny, and you're always a great guest.
Always
just like you were today. So I can't thank you enough for this. It's been a great show.
Yep.
And because I'm a whore, I'm going to pimp out some stuff because that's what I do. Like Bryan just mentioned, Tuesday, the 21st, on Sean's channel at Movie Assault, right there. Or at the Talking Movies 2025 channel will be the next live episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. Our very special guests will be Bryan here and Larry, the Horror Punk Dad, who is also here in the comments, who is a big fan of The Hills Have Thighs. There we go. Rory, the Horror Cat Dad. The two of them are going to be on there with us on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch that, like I said, either on Sean's channel at Movie Assault or the Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim channel, which is Talking Movies 2024. we're going to be talking franchise horror films. We covered a little bit of it here today, but we're going to be doing a deep dive into some of these franchises. And again, we're certainly not going to cover everything. We'd be on here for a week and a half and we'd still not cover everything. But we're going to cover as much as we can. And we're just going to be talking about some of the franchises that we hold nearest and dearest to our hearts. So hopefully some of you can join us for that show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once again, that will be on Tuesday night, the 21st, on either Sean's channel or the Talking Movies 2024 channel. And I'm going to leave links to both of those, as well as Bryan and Larry's links in the description when I do that community post. Also, 1 week from today, episode 23 of Shooting the Shit with Jim, my very special guests will be Mika and Kara from the Double Feature podcast. These two wonderful ladies are going to be breaking all kinds of glass ceilings for this show. They're going to be the first females on the show. They're going to be the first twins on the show. They're going to be the first multiple guests I've had on the show. And they're also going to be the first people of color on the show. Least but not least. You know what I mean? I'm spitting shit out here. But I love these two ladies. They are fantastic. They have such great chemistry together because they are twins, of course, and they have a lot of great content. And I'm gonna just have an absolute blast having those two on here next week. So hopefully you guys can join that. And I'm going to throw some curveballs their way as well. So it's going to be a great episode, just like today's was. And I implore you, please come back in a couple of weeks, or next week rather, and join us at that time. Last thing I want to mention is the giveaway that I'm doing is still open. The last day for that will be on Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. That's when I'm going to cut the entries off. If you want to enter that giveaway, you can go on episode 14 of Shocktober, leave a comment saying that you want to be in the giveaway, or find the community post that is looking for you to join in. I'm giving away digital codes, I'm giving away Blu-rays, and I'm giving away DVDs. It's going to be 3 different winners. First person gets to choose what of the 3 prizes they want. Second place gets the next pick, and third place, so on. You can enter this from outside the U.S. if you have a region-free player, but I do not know if the digital codes would work outside of the U.S., so that's on you. I don't have a problem with the postage because, again, you guys have been nothing but great and supportive of me for the last year and a half. It's my way of saying thank you and sending a little bit of love back. So, again, if you're interested in that giveaway in any way, that's how you can join. And I'm opening it up to everyone. So, Bryan, Sean, Kenny, Larry, anybody, if they've been on here, whether they've been on here or not, if you're interested in the giveaway, enter, and you will be entered into the drawing. One last time, I do want to say thank you once again to Bryan here. Bryan, this has been great, man. Like I said, I wanted to have you on here months ago, but again, I wanted to hold off, for Halloween. But now that I've gotten you on here, I'm going to give you the invitation to come back at a later date if you are so inclined.
I would love to, sir.
Once the new year hits, I'm going to start bringing back some of these other guests, and I'm going to pair them up with other people, and we're gonna have some fun with that. But like I said, I knew you were going to be a great guest, and you did not disappoint. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
The last thing I want to mention is I said it at the very beginning of the show, but in a couple of hours, 2 hours as a matter of fact, head on over to Larry's channel at Larry at the Horcat Dad. He is going to be doing a live show with our good friend Dan from Mr. Dan in Horror, and it's part of Larry's collection of live episodes, which he calls Conversations With. He says that I, in a way, kind of inspired him to do that show, which, if that's true, hey, I'm honored, and that's awesome. He has also asked me to be a guest on that show at a later date, which I am, again, honored to do that. But tonight, like I said, go on over to Larry's channel and show him some love and say hello to him and Dan. So, but anyways, I want to thank each and every one of you that showed up today. You guys are awesome. You make this such a great show every time. Juno, Adam, Kenny, Sean, Al, Sarah, all of you. If I skipped your comments or I skipped your name, please, I apologize. It's just, we try to do as best we can. Now that I got the sun shining in my eyes and it's glaring off my bald ass head. But anyway, guys, we're going to call it a day on this one. Hopefully we'll see you all in a couple of nights over on Sean's channel or on the Talking Movies 2024 channel. And like I said earlier, please go over to Bryan's channel, show him some love and support like you always show me. So once again, Bryan, thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to call it a day. We'll catch you on the next one.